What's up, all of my authentics? Welcome back to my channel, Slade Sanctuary. Thank y'all so very much for being here. And if y'all don't know me, I'm Slade, so it's nice to meet y'all. And on my channel, I like to make videos dedicated to tarot pick a card readings, astrology, and general societal-based videos about, what society puts into our head and how we can restructure that to suit our thoughts, our beliefs, and our highest good, okay? But as y'all saw from the title on this video, we're talking all about Sagittarian energy because it is now officially Sagittarius season. Now, Sagittarius season lasts from November 21st, give or take. It could be the 22nd some years. Some people don't always agree with the dates, but the 21st or the 22nd all the way to December 21st. But before I get into all the things about Sagittarius and their traits, I want to give y'all a little bit of background on Sagittarius and their mythology, where it came from. And so as y'all can see, the Sagittarius symbol is the satyr, or the half-human, half-horse. And the satyr representing Sagittarius is actually Chiron in mythology. There is an astral body named after Chiron specifically, but this is where the glyph of Sagittarius came from. And so Chiron, as y'all know, is the wounded healer. And this is because he was dedicated to healing everybody else, but he could not heal himself, although he was immortal. And so one day, he's out with Hercules. Hercules was hunting and he accidentally shot Chiron in his knee with a poisoned arrow. And so most of y'all are thinking like he's immortal, so what's the issue? But the thing about it is it's poison. It was like a chronic poison. So he was just living in pain and he was like, please let me die. Like, somebody let me go from this place. Because I mean, how would you feel if you were immortal with some chronic illness that would incapacitate you for the rest of your life? And so, of course, Hercules is feeling all of this pain, all of this guilt for shooting his friend Chiron. And so he actually finds out about Prometheus. This is the titan that actually gave fire to man, to human. Prometheus was like, I'm gonna go ahead and give the humans fire. And so Zeus didn't like that, so he chained him up and he's locked up. And so Hercules saw Prometheus locked up because he was also immortal. And he realized that if Chiron would take Prometheus's place, this would allow Chiron to pass away and for Prometheus to be set free. And so that's essentially what happened. So as you can see from the story, Sagittarius can be very wise, very healing as well, kind of like how Chiron was. But I feel like this also gives a kind of energy to Sagittarius that I feel like a lot of people don't focus on. And this is like the sacrificial energy. This is when they finally get to that point of where they recognize that their ego is not everything and they really start focusing on other people in their life and how they can give to others. But starting off with their ruling planet, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And so Jupiter is the biggest planet that we have in our solar system, leading us to know that Sagittarius is all about this expansive philosophical energy. This is because Jupiter is so big, it's like boundless at this point. And this is also akin to Sagittarius's thirst for learning, okay? They like to go into any and everything and they like to explore, they like to keep going. And that's why I feel like they also have Chiron depicted with a bow and arrow that's on fire, because not only does it set a direction, a path for them to go into, but it's like creativity and shooting a light in the dark where we haven't seen anything yet, you know what I'm saying? Because the bow is on fire and they're always shooting, they're always seeing what else is out there. They like the big concept, big picture ideas, okay? They don't like the nitty gritty details like, their opposing sign Gemini does. They prefer to have expansive thoughts and beliefs, and they like to get into these grandiose visions that they have. But as y'all know, this can be dangerous because sometimes this blind optimism and all of this boundless energy can get so expansive that it's just a little bit out of touch with reality. Because if you're not focusing on the details, or if you're so far away from the details that you're all in the ethereal, then you can lose grasp on the earth. And just like how big and abundant Jupiter is, Sagittarius have an abundance of energy, okay? They love to experience and go after things. That's all fire signs in general, but them being a mutable fire sign, meaning that they like to change up, and fire sign energy is already crazily creative, that these people have to go 24/7 or else they will get bored. This is what keeps their moods up, because if they're not feeling something, if they're upset about something, they do not like to dwell on it. Their defense mechanism is running away from their problems. And it's because at least if they're running, they have the opportunity to see something else, you know? So that way they can get out of the mucky mess of the past and they're like, you know, let's just let it go and let's move forward into the future and see what else there's out there for us. And like I usually say about Sagittarius, this is why fortune favors the bold, or Sagittarius, because not only are they optimistic, but they love to be bold and courageous, and they love to go after things. Their Achilles heel, however, is that they're so ready to go that they have trouble persisting. So they can start a few things and juggle a lot of things at one time, but their follow through is the issue. And that's because once the grass looks greener, they're like, I'm ready to go, because they're always looking for greener grass. And Sagittarius rules over the 9th house of astrology. And the 9th house of astrology is one of my favorite houses outside of the 8th house. I might have said that in my Scorpio video. But the 9th house is all about philosophy. It's all about foreign travels and higher thinking in general. So this is about when you go to college or you're looking into your spiritual religious beliefs, the bigger concept of things. The 9th house is all about an elevated level. Like when you meet somebody new but they're from a different culture, so you have all of this intrigue. You can learn so much and experience so many different things because of that person. So I like to think of the 9th house as the house of differences and contrast, but also elevated consciousness in the same way. This is why I feel like Sagittarius is really interesting, because they can be really serious at times, especially as they grow older and when they mature. But as many of y'all know, Sagittarius can also be plenty immature. They can act like children. They can laugh at mundane jokes that, you know, kids laugh at. Like if somebody farts, they'll laugh at stuff like that. But then they also could get down with you in a spiritual conversation about the concept of the universe. So they are pretty polarizing when you meet them, because they may just seem like they're the fun-loving people, open-hearted. They don't care too much about any one thing. But when you pry into their life, when you get a deeper look into what they're going through, it's a lot. It's complex. And usually they struggle with this as well, because they don't like to pry within their own emotions. They like to go and keep themselves busy so that things don't have to get too deep, too messy, and too boring for them. So deep down, they do have this kind of switch that goes off that makes them look like they're a different person, but it's really not. It's just them slowing down and really seeing all the rest of the sides of themselves. And it's because if you think about Sagittarius and Jupiter, it's like they're trying to contain all of this overabundant energy, which makes them restless. It makes them want to move all the time, which is why they say, like, especially if you have like Mars and Sagittarius, a great, you know, filtering process for your emotions is to go work out, to physically run, to move, because y'all like that. Y'all have all this abundant energy that Jupiter gives to you. So you really have to release this through physical action or making yourself feel like it's physical. So like watching a movie and putting yourself in their shoes while they're adventuring and exploring, because y'all love, Sagittarians love to look into the different, okay? They love to learn, experience, but they're also pretty choosy when it comes to what that is, because they don't like the nitty-gritty, boring science details. They prefer to look at the bigger concept of what happens if, you know, certain things were invented or what can be invented. But all of that restless energy, I feel like, also contributes to their worst defense mechanism, which is, you know, escapism. It's running away from problems, and it's actually pretending that they don't exist with such clarity within yourself. Like you try to force this. It's not true clarity, but it's like you try to force that in your head. Like, no, I didn't go through a breakup a week ago. Like it didn't mean shit to me, even if it did. And that's because they love to move forward. And it's really painful for Sagittarius to sit in one spot and dwell on emotion. But then again, Sagittarians are so naturally optimistic that it doesn't take them long to really filter through things and find the deeper meaning behind them. They may have a super expansive mind, but this doesn't contribute to overthinking and overanalyzing things, because they see things for what they are and what they value them to be. And once they got that set up and tight, then they don't keep digging, okay? They like to learn, and if they hear more things about it, they will look back into it. But once they feel like they understand something, they'll talk about it with you, but they won't create more issues. Whereas any air sign or earth sign will pick things apart until the day they die, because they just feel like there's always something more to be gained through the analytical process. And lastly, since we are in Sagittarius season, if you are watching this during Sagittarius season, I feel like this season is one of the best times to reap so many rewards because Jupiter presides over this time period and it's all about overabundant energy. And it's a benefic planet that really makes you have fun and express yourself in the most joyful way. So if you are trying to lean into Sagittarian energy or best utilize this energy, then I recommend that you keep an open and flexible mind. Because if you become too dogmatic, if you're too ready to preach about what you know instead of listen, which Sagittarius is famous for, then this can limit the potential and the possibilities for you. Don't try to run away from things too much. Instead, sit where you are, keep an open mind so if new opportunities come along, don't disregard them. But by that same token, know what you are focused on, keep persevering, and good things are abounding, I promise. But this is all I had on my video about Sagittarian energy. So thank y'all so very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe because that helps me out and I appreciate it. And comment down below how this resonated for you because I'd love to hear it. Thank y'all so much and I hope I see y'all soon.